Coming up on News Live at 6, the Student Association backs graduate students in their fight for representation in the Board of Trustees.
And the chairman of the planning board in Manlius is stepping down over frustrations with the town supervisor.
And more on how Syracuse residents are rallying to save a historic landmark on the southwest side. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to News Live at 6. I'm Maddie Stelk.
And I'm Jesse Cook. So, new at 6, a historic registered landmark on West Onondaga Street could be torn down without serious investment by the Syracuse community. Our reporter Luke Welch gives us a closer look into local residents' reactions about the future of the Gillette House.
In Syracuse's southwest side on the 500 block of West Onondaga Street sits a house in disrepair. The William Gillette House has been a landmark of history in the Salt City for nearly 2 centuries.
It'd be a shame to see it torn down. I think we should celebrate the history of Syracuse, and there's a lot to celebrate, to be quite honest.
Now, this building was constructed in the mid-17th century, originally as a home for Union Civil War Sergeant William Gillette. However, as time went on, it became much more than that, having been the first center of hospitality for those with AIDS in central New York. All local residents seem to agree that preserving history around the 315 is important.
This is like the west side and the south side. They have a huge number of historical homes that were owned by the city's most affluent. We have these historic homes that have so much of that history embedded in their structure, but we're not focusing on that. Why?
The rear of the building has been caved in since 2021, and those who know the house don't think it will survive the upcoming winter. The city's program focusing on business development sees the potential in renovating the house and wants to do it as soon as possible.
Just from an economic development perspective, developing that corner, it's part of the larger downtown revitalization initiative that is planned and ongoing throughout this neighborhood. We view this as a really important project.
Due to the building rotting, this registered National Historic Landmark is being labeled a public safety hazard. The building was bought for nearly $200,000 in 2019, but the owners and those who wish to save it are hoping for an investment from the community to help restore and keep the Gillette legacy alive. Reporting in Syracuse, I'm Luke Welch, Citrus TV News.
Luke, thank you. Your next morning commute to campus might have a detour. The Skytop Road exit at East Colvin Street will be closed tomorrow morning from 9 a.m. to noon. An SU email says the closure is due to new light pole installations. Drivers will still be able to enter Skytop Road during this time, but those exiting South Campus will be detoured. Any questions or concerns should be directed to the university's Parking and Transportation Services.
Newhouse's Los Angeles program is receiving an expansion. The Carl and Dick Clark Foundation's gift to SULA includes new space for offices, classrooms, studios, additional academic programs, faculty, and internships. American Bandstand host Dick Clark developed the foundations of Newhouse's LA program, which started with fewer than a dozen students coming to meet with him in Los Angeles. SULA will be known as the Dick Clark Los Angeles program, spring 2024.
And another SU alum, writer-director Aaron Sorkin, dropping Creative Artist Agency after his agent made controversial posts about Israel. Maha Dakhil reposted a statement from an Instagram account labeled Free Palestine, followed by her own post with the caption, "What's more heartbreaking than witnessing genocide? Witnessing the denial that genocide is happening." Variety reports that Dakhil later apologized and deleted the post. Dakhil represented Sorkin for 6 years.
The Student Association is passing a bill to change the grad student organization's leadership. Here to explain the changes is Student Association beat reporter Renee Begley.
On Monday, the Student Association voted to pass a bill that calls upon the Board of Trustees to change the way that the graduate school elects its representative to the board, giving the power and a voice back to the students themselves. This past spring, the Board of Trustees altered the way that the graduate school elects its representative to the board, giving the power entirely to the dean. President William Treloar says that the power to elect the graduate school's representative should be democratic, the same way that the students elected him to the SA.
So what this bill is doing is it's really a call to action for our undergraduate students, and it's the Student Association committing itself to support of the graduate students in making sure that they can get their board representation back in the hands of graduate students.
For the time being, the bill calls for the GSO Executive Board or Senate to select a representative to serve on the Dean's Selection Committee. Treloar says this is a necessary first step in a larger democratic shift.
We hope for this to be a temporary measure because we do hope to get the franchisement back into the hands of graduate students to elect their own representative. But in the meantime, while we work through a slow university decision-making process, we're calling on the Dean of the Graduate School to kind of support graduate students in that way.
The bill was introduced to the Student Association the previous Monday, October 16th, and 1 week later, on October 23rd, it was passed with unanimous consent. The Student Association hopes that this bill will be a step towards improving the student representation for both the graduate school and Syracuse University as a whole.
Thanks, Renee. And taking a look outside, it's been uncharacteristically lovely in Syracuse today.
It really has. Our weather anchor, Luke Radel, is out there for us now. Luke, how is the weather feeling tonight?
Maddie and Jesse, it's feeling so great today, and right now here on top of the Comstock Avenue garage, let's take a look at what your temperatures are going to be right now at 6 o'clock. It's about 73 degrees here in the city of Syracuse. Mostly cloudy skies out there, but pretty wonderfully warm. The sun has been able to get through today, and yes, those flames are now back in your forecast for today, which is crazy because it's October 25th. We did not expect to see temperatures in the 70s this late into the year. Heading into tonight, if we jump ahead about 6 hours around midnight tonight, it'll be 61 degrees, a low of 57 before sunrise. And guys, that's usually the expected daytime high in central New York for this time of year. Your sunset time is 6:06, which, checking my watch, is right now. So if you take a look outside here behind me at the sunset, it is looking fantastic tonight. Lots of colors in those clouds. I'm going to grab a picture right now for my Instagram story. And that's all I got for you right now. I'll be in studio, though, in a little bit after I finish enjoying this sunset. Guys?
Thanks, Luke. A longtime Manlius Town Planning Board chairman is stepping away from his role. Joseph Lupia gave a passionate speech Monday night going over his concerns with the way the town is run. He says the town is working around the board and won't renew his term at the end of the year. Take a listen.
Where the opinions of the board are ignored, that they work around the board, and if they don't want to hear the board, they just pass what they want.
Now out in Fulton, a Phoenix man is facing felony charges for firing a rifle while driving around in a U-Haul. The fire department says its officers responded yesterday morning to a report of shots fired on Rochester Street. On the scene, officers found evidence of a shot fired and complaints from neighbors that the man who did it was in a U-Haul. Authorities say the van was found shortly after near Park Street, where 2 people and a caliber rifle were detained.
Now to Oswego, where a criminal trial is underway for a man accused in the death of his teen stepson with cerebral palsy. Court documents say 17-year-old Jordan Brooks died in 2021 of neglect and malnourishment, weighing in just 55 pounds at the time of his death. Prosecutors say Anthony Waldron and his wife Lisa are responsible. The county district attorney's office adding that they plan on bringing evidence to the courtroom today.
Another central New York school district is joining the nationwide lawsuit against major social media companies. North Syracuse is the latest to join after Jamesville DeWitt last week. The lawsuit claims that these companies play a significant role in causing mental health issues in students. NSCSD's Board of Elections says it wants companies to understand that profits should not be prioritized over the health and safety of children.
Down in the Big Apple yesterday, a federal judge ruling that New York City's new gun restrictions are unconstitutional. Judge John P. Cronin specifically noted a provision that would allow officials to deny gun permits to people deemed, quote, not of good moral character. The Trump-appointed judge wrote that the magnitude of discretion violated the Constitution's Second and 14th Amendments.
New York State is investigating 3 offshore wind projects as part of the state's renewable energy initiative. Governor Kathy Hochul announced yesterday that the projects will generate enough power for 2.6 million homes. This comes as the state plans to reach a goal of 70% renewable energy by 2030 and transition to a carbon-free electricity system by 2040. The projects are expected to be operational in the next decade.
A new ruling sees the return of a DNA searching method that was previously blocked. Familial DNA searches allow law enforcement agencies to use their database to find blood relatives of people whose DNA was left at a crime scene. The order from the New York Court of Appeals reverses a lower court's ruling from last year. This only applies to the state's database, not ones from private companies.
And coming up right after the break, House Republicans have elected a speaker 22 days after Kevin McCarthy was ousted from the position. Citrus TV's Ben Schiller has details.
And former President Donald Trump briefly takes the stand in New York. More after the break.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay? Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You're watching Citrus TV News live at 6 with Maddie Stelk, Jesse Cook, and Luke Radel. Now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Congress held another vote this afternoon for Speaker. Our Benjamin Schiller has the latest for us. Ben, does Congress finally have a speaker tonight?
Happy to report that we do finally have a Speaker of the House tonight. Republican Mike Johnson of Louisiana safely won the vote this afternoon and has been sworn in as the 56th Speaker of Congress. Johnson had no Republican opposers during the vote. I'm pretty sure you guys are wondering too, but who exactly is this Mike Johnson? Well, let me tell you all about Mike Johnson. He is a congressman from the 4th District of Louisiana. He represents a solid majority conservative district. He's also on Republican leadership. He's chair of the Republican Study Committee, and he also currently serves as the House Republican Conference vice chair. But now you have a sense of who Speaker Johnson is. Let me tell you about his voting record. He's had a heavy role in the 2020 election denial campaign. He was pro-Trump from the start. Keep in mind, he's been in office since Trump was president in 2017 to 2021. He's currently in his 3rd term in office. He also holds a lifetime rating of a 92% conservative voting record. That is from the American Conservative Union. Also, keep in mind, Johnson has a spotless voting record when it comes down to conservative values. He opposes abortion rights as well as LGBTQ+ rights as well. And he has support from the far-right Republican base. That's Congressman Matt Gaetz earlier today calling him MAGA Mike Johnson. Also, former President Trump referred to him as Mike Johnson, also called him Make America Great Again. Make America Great Again, Mike Johnson. Now, Speaker Johnson will have a busy first month. He has the task of deciding the future of Ukraine and Israel aid. Plus, he has a few more weeks until the government is supposed to shut down again. It's safe to say, guys, Johnson will have a busy few weeks before the holiday season arrives. Maddie and Jesse, back to you guys at the desk.
Ben, thank you. The multi-million-dollar lawsuit against former President Donald Trump is already costing him thousands. Judge Arthur Engoron fined Trump $10,000 for violating the partial gag order he gave Trump earlier this month. This is the second time Trump violated the order that banned him from making negative remarks about his court staff.
Trump is quoted saying the person next to the judge was very partisan, which Engoron believes was directed to Trump's law clerk. He claims that he was referring to Michael Cohen, his former lawyer, who testified against Trump today. The UN is warning that relief efforts in Gaza may be halted amid increased airstrikes by Israel. This comes as hospitals across the Gaza Strip have been reported of being over capacity while supplies become scarcer by the day. According to the Gazan Health Ministry, which is currently controlled by Hamas, more than 750 people were killed over the past 24 hours.
This comes as a New York Times analysis broke earlier this evening, casting doubt on evidence that the Al-Ahli Arab hospital was struck by a Hamas missile. The Times Al-Ahli, Al-Ali, I'm so sorry. The Times reports the missile in video released by the Israeli government does not appear to be the missile that struck the hospital. The Times wrote that the true perpetrator behind the disaster that left around 500 people dead is still unknown. And coming up, a forecasted tropical storm turns into a Category 5 hurricane in just 12 hours.
And I'll have your full 5-day forecast right on your break.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Maybe he's really focused.
Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today.
You're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go, babe. I'm never gonna let you go. No, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
And a nightmare scenario unfolded in Mexico last night as a projected tropical storm escalated to a Category 5 hurricane in under 12 hours. According to the director of the National Hurricane Center, satellite data and hurricane models severely underplay the potential of the storm.
Tropical storm Otis was forecasted to be a hurricane early Tuesday morning, but thanks to a patch of warm water, it rapidly increased in strength. By 10 p.m. that night, Otis was forecasted to be a Category 5 hurricane. So that's pretty serious.
Major.
That is just about as serious as it can get. That's top of the scale.
Absolutely, and I mean, it happened so fast. I mean, in 12 hours, I don't know how people had time to prepare, and we're also seeing this heat in Syracuse, bright and sunny just days away from Halloween. Here to tell us more is our weather reporter, Luke Radel.
Guys, yeah, thankfully better weather here in the city of Syracuse today. Let's take a look at some of the things that we're expecting to talk about in your 5-day forecast a little later on. A possibility of light showers for the next couple days, but those warm temperatures are going to stay with us throughout Halloween weekend. But by Sunday and Monday, I hate to tell you, Maddie and Jesse, those rain showers are going to return into our forecast. But first, let's take a look at some of your temperatures around the region. 74 degrees in Rochester, 70 up in Oswego, and 72 degrees out in my hometown of Utica. Now, guys, I know I've shown you pictures of my dog Buttons before, but I had to show you last year's Halloween costume that Buttons wore. She was Princess Leia, which I think is pretty out of this world. But now let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. We've got some warm days ahead in the forecast. A high of 70 degrees tomorrow, a low of 60. On Friday, it'll be cloudy with a high of 73. It's going to stay cloudy through Saturday. And then, like I mentioned, those showers are going to hit us for Sunday and Monday. But guys, we're not going to hit 30 degrees here in Syracuse in the month of October, according to all the forecast projections, which is pretty unusual for us here in central New York. We had one article today from Jim Teskey, who's a real meteorologist from News Channel 9, talking about how Syracuse is still waiting for those days in the 30s. But guys, I'll tell you, I'm not waiting on those anytime soon. I'm perfectly happy to stick with this 70-degree weather here in Syracuse. Maddie and Jesse, what do you guys think?
Yeah, thanks, Maddie. It's a busy time in sports. The World Series is right around the corner, and Syracuse football returns to the field this week. That and more in sports after these messages.
Got a quarter?
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Meet Norm. He lives with anxiety, but with the help of this latest innovation from Be Normal, he can be normal, just like everyone else. With the swipe of a finger, you can project happiness, confidence, machismo. Why settle for being real when you can be normal? The Normal Maker, new from Be Normal. This item doesn't really work because there's no such thing as normal. We're all different. What we like, how our brains work. In fact, 1 in 5 of us live with mental illness. Don't filter who you are. Start by talking to someone you trust. And remember, there is no normal.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
The World Series matchup is set. Welcome into sports. I'm William Griffin. The Rangers punched their ticket on Monday out of the AL. Last night, the Phillies and Diamondbacks fought for spot number 2 in the NL. We'll pick it up in the second inning. Philadelphia trailing Arizona 1-0. Not for long, though. After this bomb from Alec Boehm, knew at the moment he hit it to tie the game at 1. Bottom 4 now. Bryson Stott, Phillies second baseman, laces a double into the left center field gap. Runner coming in from first is Alec Boehm. He scores easily. Phillies got momentum, up 2-1. Not so fast, says Corbin Carroll, Arizona's rookie outfielder. First rookie with 3 hits in a Game 7 since Dustin Pedroia 16 years ago. That tied the game at 2. This gives Arizona the lead. A ribby single from Gabby Moreno. Look at Carroll run to give Arizona a lead. It would not relinquish. Final out right here. Diamondbacks and Rangers in the World Series. Arizona's first trip to the Fall Classic since 2001. Transitioning to the Hill, Syracuse football is back on the field after its bye tomorrow night. 11 days will have passed in between contests for the Orange. The benefits of the week off aren't exclusive to not having a game. If you ask head coach Dino Babers, it provides a good mental refresh for his players.
We should see the better side, the better side of a lot of guys that haven't had an opportunity to rest. And the other thing is there's rest away from the coaches too. I mean, we practiced one time last week, and those guys had a big long weekend where they can go home and see their families if they live close enough. And then we brought them back. We went Sunday and we went today, which is the reason why I'm dressed like this.
Even though the Orange have been on the practice field for the past few days, it's still a short week. SU hasn't played a regular season game on a Thursday since October of 2019. Will that have a negative impact on Syracuse's play? We don't have to wait much longer to find out. Kickoff from Blacksburg is at 7:30. Our Ethan Frank will have you covered on X at Ethan G. Frank throughout the contest. Elsewhere on the Hill, basketball season draws even nearer. The SU men's team is gearing up for its first exhibition game on Friday against Division II Damon. Even though the big show that is the regular season is still a few weeks away, head coach Adrian Autry already has a vision for what he wants to see on the floor.
My philosophy is sharing the basketball, playing together. Obviously, I think we'll have the ability to put, 4, sometimes maybe 5 guys out on the floor that can dribble, pass, and shoot. I think the biggest thing that we, whatever we do, we want to be able to have the correct spacing for.
Autry's squad can put its spacing on display for the first time when it welcomes Damon to the Dome on Friday at 7. On the women's side, Felicia Leggett-Jack's team doesn't have an exhibition until Halloween night next Tuesday at 5. But if you're looking to watch some hoops tonight, have no fear. Both New York NBA teams begin their season in just a little bit. Starting in Brooklyn, the Nets host the Cavaliers at 7:30 tonight. Both of these teams saw their season come to an end in the first round of the playoffs last year. The Knicks face an even tougher test. They host the Celtics at the top of the hour. New York is coming off its first trip to the second round in a decade. But this year's Boston squad is widely regarded as one of the favorites to win the title. Jesse and Maddie, I can't lie. That's why I wore the green tie today. The Boston Celtics are going to win the NBA championship this year. You heard it here first.
So that's what Liam's saying. Jesse, what's... oh my goodness. Do we have only one unbiased journalist here tonight?
Unbiased? I mean, they made a run to the conference finals last year, and they're objectively better now.
Well, we'll have to see. But when we return, Luke Radel is in studio with your Wake Up Weather. Stay with us.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Heading into tomorrow, your day planner. At 9 a.m., around 58 degrees, a little bit chillier out there compared to what we've had the last couple of days. We'll be back up into the 70s, though, by around 3 o'clock. And when you meet Max Williams on News Live at 6 tomorrow night, it'll be around 68 degrees. Guys, we are hoping to hold off those showers until after Halloween weekend for sure.
Really, really hope so, especially with Halloween weekend coming up. But straight off the couch and straight into new deals for Syracuse alum Justin Pugh. The New York Giants offensive lineman said straight off the couch instead of Syracuse University in his Sunday Night Football intro last week. Pugh's turned that joke into new opportunities with straight off the couch t-shirts and a new endorsement deal with furniture company Lovesac.
I think it's always fun when the players try something new like that because some of those guys are really funny. I remember watching the New England Patriots try that out with that 08 team, or that 07-08 team. My favorite is watching Vince Wilfork just mess around.
Now, I remember in a New England Patriots-Baltimore Ravens game, 4 or 5 years ago now. Now New England Patriot Matthew Judon's intro was, and I quote, "Body built by Taco Bell." I thought it was absolutely hysterical, and he's now a Patriot.
Well, you know, Martellus Bennett during that Super Bowl run said the Imagination Agency. Who knows?
You can't beat that. You cannot beat that.
I am not a Giants fan, but I would totally buy that T-shirt straight off the couch.
I think I would buy that
also
T-shirt
would.
too.
Because I'm always on the couch.
I feel like that's a great look for the dining hall.
Well, we're here at the desk, and that's it for Citrus TV News live at 6. Don't forget, you can follow us on social media at Citrus TV News. With the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Jesse Cook.
And I'm Maddie Stelk. Take it easy, Syracuse.